you know,
Trying to lighten up.
had to make sure that, you know, everybody was ready to go,
It's
you know.
good, bro. It's good.
All right. Welcome back. Welcome back. We got another show here. Obviously, I'm here with you. We got, mortgage loan officer Mark Rocha. With Next to Mortgage, we got Rich Jackson here,
Hey.
per the usual. And then we got our guest, of course, right in the middle, Mr. Felipe Toscano from Universal.
Hey guys, thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely,
Welcome, man.
Welcome.
Yeah, we got Felipe today, a real estate agent with Universal, man, and he's an investor too, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Active
man.
investor in the market right now.
Oh, man.
All that, my man.
So we got a lot going on today. We got a lot of experience, a lot of things to talk about here. Some changes in the market.
Let's talk about the real estate, man. What's new, man? Where rates at? What's going on? A lot of stuff going on. Man.
So for a while there, we were approaching 7%. It has kind of dialed back, a little bit of a downward trend right now, which is good for consumers who, you know, want to pay less. It's bad for consumers who don't want to compete, because as these rates continue to go down, homes become more affordable for majority of the people, and as it become more affordable for majority of the buyers, more of them are going to jump off the fence into the market, start putting in offers, and we're going to see things like what we're going to talk about today is some of these going over list price, some of these appraisal gaps. We've had in both of these agents' recent experience, they've seen appraisal gaps.
Yeah, buyers are back, man.
Yeah,
you've seen that too, Felipe.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Dude.
Yeah, so we're definitely seeing that here in this market. And again, as these rates continue to go down, I mean, assuming they continue this trend, we'll continue to see more of things like that.
What you said? What rates are this week? What right now?
Right now, we're sitting about mid sixes, 6.5. Trending even lower, maybe 6.375, depending on everybody's background. You're putting down, more, 10, 15, 20% down.
Right.
We got higher FICOs that are getting, 6.25, 6.375. So
did we talk about the new program, the 20% down program?
Let's definitely talk about that.
That's super important, guys. Listen up. Got something great for buyers right now, right? It's something new
Absolutely.
On the horizon. Mark, let us know what's up.
So this program is through Cal HFA or Cal HAFA. You'll see, somebody say it differently, but it's Cal HFA. It's a program or it's an agency that's been around for a while. They've been doing down payment assistance for some time now.
Sure.
California residents. So it probably applies to majority, if not everybody watching this show, watching in California, maybe not, right. But this is a California loan. Nothing new that they've offered before, except one major tweak is that instead of letting you borrow the down payment assistance that's minimally required, like a 3.5% down FHA or a 3 or 5% on a conventional loan, instead of giving you the ability to borrow the minimum down payment, what they're doing is they're giving you 20% to use to borrow to put down towards your home purchase. Now, similar to the regular down payment assistance programs, they're not requiring you to pay while you live in the home. If you ever sell or refinance the home, then yes, you gotta pay back what you borrowed. The new Cal HAFA Dream for All is a program where they give you 20%, so they're giving you more to put down, to let you borrow more. The catch, the major difference is that there is a shared appreciation on the back end, meaning that if they're giving you 20% to put down on your home, and you can use that for down payment and closing cost coverage, what they're requiring is when you refinance or sell in the future, whatever amount of equity that was built in that home that they lent you the funds on, they're taking 20% of that. So simple math, you buy a home for $300. By the time you go to refi or sell it, it's worth $400. That's $100,000 difference between what you bought it for and what it's currently valued at.
Right.
That $100,000 right off the top minus 20%. So 20 grand would go to Cal HAFA.
I when you first told me about that, I was thinking like, that might not be the best deal, but actually the more I think about it, it may be very beneficial to a lot of buyers out there, to get them in a home today. Right. Yeah. And still once, several years, live there 5 to 10 years, real estate's always amazing as far as homeownership. If you plan on living 5 to 10 years, markets change all the time, but that'll be enough time for enough appreciation to happen. And hey, they'll pay the bank back, whatever. They'll still walk away if they do the sale, with something in their pocket.
Right.
They didn't put nothing down out of pocket. Right. So, hey, I mean, it could be a great product.
Yeah, most definitely. And I think, One of the things that people got to consider too is what are rents at right now? They're super, super high, guys.
Crazy,
I mean,
crazy.
everyone's paying astronomical rates for rents, even for apartments.
True.
So one thing that you got to consider too is exactly like Rich said, and like
Mm-hmm.
you said, everyone's financial situation is different. But one thing to really consider is now with that 20% down, guess what? That's going to bring your monthly payment possibly down
Oh, yeah.
to a more affordable rate than what you're currently paying for.
Right, right.
So essentially, if it makes financial sense for you, this could be the product for you.
Yeah.
Might not be for everyone, but you know, you can easily contact Mark and
Yeah.
definitely get started on all that.
Are there like some real strict qualification? Like, what do you need to qualify for that
Qualifications
product?
are exactly the same as prior down payment assistance program,
Really?
Cal HAFA, meaning that I mean, it is only conventional for the Dream for All, but even on the conventional where they lend you just the minimum 3 or 5%, because they can do that. Cal HAFA will lend that as well, 3% down, just the minimum, not the full 20, and they take 0 of your equity position in the future. They've been doing that forever.
Right,
That
right.
program's been
That's
around
the
forever.
regular, yeah.
So the qualifying requirements for this Dream for All is exactly the same as that 3 or 5% down. You need a 680 credit score minimum. Depending on where your credit score is at, you'll be required to be under a certain debt to income ratio, which is the same as they've always been. So that's going to be different for everybody, you know. So a lot of it is exactly the same. They're looking at your income, they're looking at your debts, your credit score, not necessarily your assets, because you don't need to come to the table with anything, you know, which is typically the biggest hurdle for home buyers is coming up with that down payment.
Yeah.
You know, but everything else aside, the other 4 areas we look at: credit score, they're going to look at same way they did before; income, whatever you're bringing in, they're going to look at; and the amount of debts that you have. They're going to look at everything is exactly the same. They're just lending you more, and taking an equity portion. You know, they're going to have a stake in your future equity.
Got it. So buyers out there, you guys thinking about buying a home this year? Hey, there's some programs out there that could really help you. And that's probably why we're seeing a big uptick right now.
Oh, yeah.
More and buyers are coming to the market, and I feel they're back. You know, we had a slowdown last, I think, October when it really hit.
Oh yeah.
The 7%. It just went ice cold, you know, the market. And
Right.
they came back. We saw people come back in January, early January. I think February started,
Trickle up a little bit.
Yeah.
Inventory started trickling up a little bit.
Right. And that's when rates went back up. We had a increase in rates around that time.
Yeah. Slowed it down.
Slow down. And then so we're back. It's
Roller coaster.
Yeah.
Roller coaster.
Roller coaster. And it's interesting. I want to talk about this too. You guys can chime in. You know, just to clarify, guys, you know, a lot of people think that the Fed rate is the same as mortgage rates, right? That they're 1 and 1. Like you know, the Fed increases the Fed rate.
Like they're directly correlated.
Right. A lot of people feel that way. And I kind of get why now, because if you think about it, majority of people who are talking about the Fed rate increase and things like that, right after they talk about that, they go right into mortgage rates.
Yeah.
So it's easy for people to think,
Make
oh,
that
they're the
1
same.
and 1. Yeah.
But we're telling you now that they're not, because they had a rate increase just a couple of weeks ago. It went up
0.25%,
and mortgage rates actually went down.
They did.
So that could be part of the banking crisis as well. A lot of people are kind of going into the to bonds, to investing in bonds and things like that. And so that could be it.
Commodities too.
Yeah.
Are big.
Right. Treasuries is what I was thinking.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So the more people go into treasuries, you know, the more, you know, that puts pressure on the yield curve, and it comes down, and which mortgage rates are more related to the treasury, the 10-year treasury,
absolutely.
as opposed to the Fed rate. So
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
But
yeah. So, you know, I just want to say on that Cal HAFA Dream for All.
Yeah.
Real quick, kind of taking back to that. One of the things I've seen, you know, from the lending side is a lot of outreach from previous clients who, you know, were not willing to jump into the market. A lot of outreach from somebodies who, you know, were previously pre-approved at a certain amount and are now wondering how much higher they can go with this program. And I think like anything, it's up to you to do your due diligence and kind of step back, zoom out, and look at the entirety of this program. And if somebody is looking to see how much more they can purchase using this, understand that this is a loan that comes with a 20% interest rate on the back end. So in order to buy more home, you're taking a loan at a 20% interest rate to purchase more home. You wouldn't do that with anything else, but because we wrap it all up in something called Cal HAFA, now it seems like a good thing for you. So just something to keep in mind. People who could not buy at all before, I think this is a phenomenal program. Who, you know, they did not have the funds. Their max purchase price was 150.
Mhm.
You know, you're not going to find anything here for 150, but now they can go up to 250,
Sure.
225. I think this is a phenomenal
Yeah,
program.
yeah.
For the ones that were at 350 and want to get up to 450, you're taking a loan to buy a home you couldn't originally afford. So just something to always think about. Just step back and say, California is giving me a loan that I'm going to pay. If I borrow 90 grand, I'm going to give them back 120. That's a 33% interest rate. You wouldn't throw all that on a credit card to buy a home. So just kind of, you know,
Right.
just step
It's
back.
about, yeah,
Each person just look at
it's really a
the
case
picture
by
as a
case
whole.
situation.
Again, phenomenal product.
Yeah.
Of course, they're not going to give you 20% and not expect something on the back end. We're all adults. We know nothing's free.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely reach out to a professional so you can, you know, figure out what's going on and really decide,
Sure.
is this a route I want to go to take a loan, you know, to buy something that I originally could not even afford.
Yeah.
But
Right.
you know, so it's just, but if this is your only chance to build any equity at all, you
Right.
definitely want to get out of renting.
Right.
Definitely want to get out of
And
renting.
again, and, you know, a lot of people too, it's an option, it's an opportunity for them to start building their generational wealth and have
Absolutely.
an asset, you know, something eventually, not necessarily an asset initially, but as you over time, you know, you should start building equity in your property. True, you got to pay it back, but now you got
More
money
than what
that
you would have
you
had.
ever had, and
Right.
you can use that to buy
Another property.
Next one.
exactly
The next
investments. You can sell. That's a nice chunk of money you have
Yeah.
for your family, and you guys can use that and pay college or whatever. You know, there's a lot of things there. that'll
Definitely.
be-
One thing that I do want to touch on that program is that I've been seeing a lot in social media on many platforms, TikTok, whatever it is the negative connotations that come with that program. They're saying, you know, like, oh, it's such a horrible program. Why are real estate agents offering this program? Again, we're not offering it to anyone. One thing that you really need to consider is sit down with your local real estate agent, with your local loan officer, educate yourself on the product
For sure.
and see if it's even like for you.
Right.
It
Yeah,
might
right.
not be for everyone, but everyone's financial situation is completely
Right.
different.
Absolutely.
Exactly like Rich said, it's the first step to actually build that generational wealth
Yeah.
and finally get out of that rat race and just rent.
What
Paying that money down.
Right. What do you guys think? I like to ask you this real quick before we get into it, because it's just one of those things where I'm sure you talk to a lot of you know, first time buyers thinking about it, you as well. There's something about a lot of buyers' hesitation even to talk to a loan officer to even see where they are. And I always think that's the best method, because at least you can see where you are. If there's something you can improve on, that's what the lender's there for, the loan officer. He can let you know where you are, you know, what you may have to, you know, work on, if it's credit or whatever that is. But there's sometimes there's hesitation. They don't even want to sit down to see where they are. It could be fear of rejection, maybe.
100%.
That's exactly what I feel.
Think that's what it is?
Yeah, most definitely. I feel like a lot of the times they just don't want to hear it from someone else saying like, oh, you can't do it right now. But that actually is a great way to get you kind of on the right track.
Yeah.
Because I know Mark and I have done various deals where we couldn't do it initially, but later down the line, Mark planned something for them. They followed everything to the T,
Yeah.
and we were able to get them a home in a year's time or shorter.
Right.
You know,
And that's how my mind operates now. But I guess I could see how a person, but honestly, it's only your benefit, guys. It's like, just see where you are. Even if it doesn't work today, at least you know where you are. And maybe a few months from now, we can qualify for this amount, but at least you have an idea, you have a plan, and you can work on whatever it is to, you know, until
that you need to work on to get there.
To get there.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. To answer your question, I think it's just fear, you know, fear of, it's an intimidating process.
Intimidation
or it can
too.
be. Yeah. It's an intimidating process, or it can be. Nobody wants
Biggest purchase.
Nobody wants to
someone's
hear
gonna make.
no. You know, nobody wants to hear no.
Yeah.
They don't want to hear you're not qualified, you know, or maybe they know they need work and they don't want to know how much work they need, you know.
Sure.
So
Sure.
it's
Yeah.
just I think that's what comes down,
That's
what it
it.
comes down to, honestly. But the benefits on the other side of that tunnel,
Yeah. So yeah, it's
far superior than staying where you're at. Far
100%.
superior. So,
because we know if you stay where you at, you can say it's a good guess that next year, this same time, you're going to be where you are at. Because
Yeah.
if you don't do anything today, you know, to start making those moves,
Making those changes.
right?
Oh, yeah.
The situation going to stay the same. But let's shift gears, man. I want to hear more about my guy Felipe here, man.
Felipe in,
So
man. Let's
so
bring
you
him in.
guys, you've been knowing him for, you guys been knowing each other for a
Yeah,
little bit.
we've known each other for a little bit. I actually got introduced to Mark by my brother-in-law. and we just kind of clicked. We've done a lot of business together since then.
Nice.
You know, on both sides. Myself, I am an active investor, you know, as Mark told you. You know, and I still currently am. The market's still hot.
Mostly flips, you doing rentals?
I do both. I try to do flips. I do wholesale deals. I do buy and hold. Right now, I don't have any rentals. My wife and I sold what we did have.
Yeah.
But you know, right now, if you are an investor, it's a perfect time. Reach out to your local realtor if you have one. If not, feel free to reach out to Rich, to myself.
Yeah.
We can definitely get you guys going on the right track. But right now, it's just fear is driving everyone. I'm pretty sure you guys know that. It's just kind of scaring everyone.
Fear is constantly in the driver's seat for most people.
Right.
So,
And it seems like, well, it's not, it doesn't even seem like I know. Since 2020, man, you could just look online and the people you talk to. I hear this over and over. Just, it's kind of sad. A lot of people are just in a different mindset, and it's a lot of negativity out there, unfortunately. A lot of just I think it just shifted a lot of people's mindset, just from coming out of the pandemic, being home all the time, and just, you know, just, and then also it's really that every time you look at the news, there's something horrible, you know. First, you know, we had COVID, then, you know, then you got monkeypox, then you have all these shootings, then you have this, you have that, you know. It just it's just one of those times we're in where there's a lot happening, right? But when in down times though, and bad times, you know, there's always opportunity.
Oh yeah.
So if you're, you know, I would rather come from a place of positivity and try to look where opportunity is around you, because you know, and then you have a choice every day when you wake up to be in a good mood or to say, this sucks, and be in bad mood. And really whatever choice you make in the beginning of the day is pretty much how your day is going to go. So if you start off, you wake up and you're pissed at the world, you're in a bad mood, you can imagine things aren't going to go so well that the rest of the day, and things are just going to happen, and you're not going to realize what it is, and you're going to keep saying, oh, everything's bad. But no, it's like mindset is so powerful that, and underestimated what people, I think, and I even underestimated for so long. You can really tell yourself it's going to be a great day, great mood, blah, blah, blah. Get up, going. You're going to find you're going to have a much better day. Things are going to work out. People are going to be nice. You're going to be like, oh, wow, I had a great day. Yeah, because you woke up in a great mood. You thought positive. You weren't thinking about the negativity. You were just going after what you're going after. So,
and realistically, what you're saying is that you're not saying that because you think positive that obstacles and hurdles are just all of a sudden going to avoid you.
Not at all.
Yeah,
Please don't get that way.
Don't.
Right.
Listeners out there, don't confuse.
Sure.
What Rich is saying, or what I believe you're saying, is that with that mindset, you're not going to view that hurdle as a day. This is going to ruin my day.
100%.
This is going to make me late, and I can never work well when I get late. When we get to work late, you know, no, it's just going to change your entire ability to handle those problems.
Right.
It's not saying that problems are just going to vanish.
So excuse me, guys, you're right.
No, I understood what you're saying. I
was having this conversation with my son actually yesterday about life in general and being a good person and doing the right thing,
law of
faith and all that. That's good. You know, you can make you a happy life, but no, it's never going to stop.
Never. Negative
things happening, bad things happening, tragedies. It's all frame of mind, how you go through them. Those things are going to happen.
How you handle those problems.
Those are going to happen regardless if you're in a good mood or in a bad mood.
Right.
I'd much rather be in an up spirit because things happen. It sucks, true, but I'm not going to let that drag the rest of my day, the rest of my being. You know, I'm going to like, okay, let's figure out solutions now. And if you come from a place to where you're thinking positive, you're going to run into a lot of obstacles, but you're going to sit back and go, okay, how can we get through this? What's the best way to navigate through this? And then you could get through it, right? But at least, because when you have a negative, you come from a negative aspect, it looks worse than it is. You're not going to think clearly. You're not going to give yourself to process everything and come with a great plan. And a lot of times that can cause even other issues because your whole mentality is just in a bad funk, and that can lead to depression and whoever knows what else down the road.
Yeah.
So, like I said, but being a positive person, just looking at good things, a lot of times true bad stuff's going to happen. You just got to push. I mean, this is life, man. It's nothing's perfect. Every day is a challenge. Everything we're going to be faced with obstacles. It's really about how we choose to deal with these obstacles and address it. That's the choice we have.
Right. Yeah. Especially in a field like this where, you know, everything is constantly changing. There's a lot of things out of our control. You know, so kind of touching on that and continuing to grow and having the right mindset. Felipe, how'd you getting started in real estate from the beginning? and I'm sure this market is way different than the one you started in. So how have you continued to, just grow and keep that mindset right and business focused, even though I'm sure much has changed from when you got in
Most definitely.
to when you are now,
Yeah, no.
You started in 92?
Oh, I was born in
Born in
90.
90s.
And I'm over here, the old man. And just jokes.
Yeah, so basically I got started about I would say about 10 years ago. I met my mentor, really good friend of mine, Mo Mansour. I'm sure a lot of
Yeah, I know
local
Mo.
realtors know Mo. He taught me everything that I know. I basically purchased my first investment property after learning about it on YouTube.
Wow, YouTube
Through
University.
Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Mhm.
I'm sure everyone knows that book. If you don't, definitely go get it.
Definitely.
A great book. It'll definitely change your mindset on how you see things, how you view
For
things.
sure.
But yeah, so I just basically got started with that. I bought that property. It was a condo with Mo. And right before we closed, I basically asked him, like, can you teach me real estate? From there, it was just basically everything went uphill, actually, instead of downhill, right? It was all just in the past.
Yeah.
I got started with him. I was gung ho. That's one of the things in this business that you have to realize that, yes, you're in business for yourself. But one thing I didn't realize is I was going to be working 7 days a week, grinding.
Did you have any like experience prior, like business
No,
experience working for yourself?
I actually one thing I actually did was a Primerica. I'm sure everyone's heard of Primerica.
Yes.
I was actually really good at that. It's hard to sell life insurance, let's be honest.
Yeah.
But I've always been into helping people. So I definitely knew that this was something I definitely wanted to do long term eventually. I just didn't know when. I had a full-time job. I made 6 figures at that job. So that says a lot to be in this business and just live a 6-figure income job to just go out and do real estate.
Sure.
But to answer your other second part to your question, Mark, is when I joined, it was a little bit easier to get real estate done. A lot of people were looking for homes. Interests were a little bit better. They weren't that different from what they are right now. We were still in the 5s, the 6s. This was back in about 2017, around your time as well, when you went full time. And it basically was just kind of, coasting.
Sure.
Then 2020 hit, obviously.
Yeah.
That's when everything kind of hit the fan. Everything changed.
Yep.
We had to be reactive, and that's one thing I had to learn over time. Definitely becoming reactive and changing with the market, which now we have to continuously do, almost seems like every month. I'm sure you guys can attest to that.
Yes.
But yeah, no, it's been a long time, that I've been doing this.
How was that first year though? I like to hear the experience in the first year.
Geez, the first year it was horrible. I'll be very honest, it was horrible. I think I did like 2 deals.
That's
year.
not different than too many people.
That's kind of the norm right there.
Yeah,
First year is tough.
I did 2. Second year I went up to 4.
Let me ask you real quick. First year. So were you full time that first year?
I was not. So I was actually part-time for quite a while.
Got it.
And you're going to be very surprised when I tell you when I went full-time. So I was part-time all the way up to COVID hitting.
Oh, wow.
So I literally had
I did not know that.
Yeah, I actually had a full-time job the whole time. I was at a company in Madeira. It was a trash company. I was a operations manager out there, and basically, just was there. And I did this part-time in the afternoons.
Wow.
And then I did construction. I was superintendent of a construction company, and I was in San Luis Obispo. Every single day, and still
lucky you, man. Lucky you, man. Must be nice.
Yeah, most definitely. Except to drive. No one likes to drive 5 hours every day, because I was driving there and back, and still grinding in real estate every single day.
You're doing turnarounds
the whole year.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
I thought you were just hanging out.
Oh, no. I wish. No, we were grinding. And then right before COVID hit, I decided, you know what, I can't do this anymore. I want to do this full time. I think I built enough of a client base to do so, which it did take me about 4 to 5 years to actually build that. And it was thanks to, like I said, Mo being my mentor, and Kyle, who every time I had a question, they always, they always had my back. So when I went full time, I just really got scared, because everything changed.
Yeah, the world stopped, man.
Oh yeah, everything stopped for at least the first 2 months, and then what was that?
That's an interesting time to go.
Were you like, oh shit,
like
what did I do? What did I do?
All years ago, full time, right?
Yeah.
Like
I did the same. That's what I
I'm
didn't
gonna
know
wait
that.
till it's the worst time in the worst time in real estate. Let's leave this job now.
Oh, trust me,
risky.
I was like, oh my God, what did I do? I left my 6-figure income job, like what the heck.
What was it that led you to do that? And
I wanted more time. My mom is actually very ill as well.
Oh,
So
sorry about
I
that.
was taking care of her at the time. So that was another reason why I was driving back. So I would, take care of her at night, things like that. But it's just,
Wow.
we got to do what we got to do
Yeah,
for our families,
got to.
for our business. We want to continue to grow our business.
Mhm.
I know that's always been one of my main things. I know there's a lot of realtors that just want to, help families and
Right.
not really grow a business for themselves. But that definitely is one of my goals, and
Yeah.
still continue to do so.
Oh, man, awesome, man. So how does it look? Life look since the full time 2020? Do you
I
wish
do
you started
not-
earlier?
Oh,
Or do
no.
you...
Man. Nothing against the program that I was in. I was in a great program. I actually graduated from high school and college with my associate's degree same year at 18 years old. It was a program that was funded by Bill Gates, so I never actually went to high school. Straight out of middle school, went into the program, went to Fresno City, and
Wait, you never went to high school? That's
no.
interesting.
Never
What
went
do
to
you
high school.
mean?
I got all my high school credits at Fresno City. It was a program called Design Science High School. Myself,
Sorry, a genius or what? What's going on
no,
there?
definitely not. It was just a program. You just kind of like had to write a letter and test into it, and that was
Nice.
basically it. Now I hear you gotta hope that you get in.
Right.
It's a lottery now. We were the guinea pigs of the whole program, but it's a great program. But that allowed me to just kind of change my mindset and kind of grow. Because for my age, I am a little bit more mature than most. Just being 31. So it definitely changes your mindset doing that.
Sure. That's awesome, man.
Wow.
But yeah,
I'm learning a lot. We've done a lot of deals. I'm learning a lot.
You're learning, right? Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, now you do the investments, you sell
Yeah.
real estate. I mean, is there either one of those things you enjoy more? Do you?
I just love helping families.
Just love helping in
honestly.
general.
That's
Mhm.
the biggest thing. Believe it or not, a lot of my investments, well, some of them actually came from, and it's sad. It's people being foreclosed on. They couldn't, pay their payment anymore or things like that. But we offer them a way out where we can hopefully get them another property by purchasing their property cash, letting them reside in the residence while we find them another property with those proceeds. Like I just picked one up, I would say about February,
Mhm.
give or take. They've been in there. They're finally gonna turn over keys, hopefully tomorrow, actually. And we were, luckily blessed to be able to help them in the situation that they were in. They came out with a little bit of money in their pocket. They have their other home. So just being in the situation where we can actually help them, and that is a actual family member, so that makes it even better.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. Help out
to
family.
have someone in your family to be able to help with those, because
Sure.
I never had that.
Yeah. No,
that was
that's
another
good.
reason,
Cool story.
honestly, why I actually got into real estate was my dad got I shouldn't say he got fucked over, but it's just mainly what it was is my dad was not educated on the product
Taking
he
advantage of.
Right. Yes,
purchased,
taking advantage.
which was a hard cash money loan. I love those loans now.
Oh, yeah, I'm a big fan of
So tell me. So
Big
explain
fan
that.
of
Yeah, a lot of people don't even know what a hard.
Yeah, so a
Money
hard
loan
cash money
is.
loan is basically a loan that you get when it's a short-term investment.
Sure.
So you basically same as
Higher
cash,
interest.
way higher interest. The average interest right now is anywhere from 12% to 15%, which to most people is like, oh, that's ridiculous.
But short term.
But it's short term.
Most are interest only, so the payments are not too high.
Almost all the ones that I do are
Right.
interest only. But my dad didn't know what that was,
Mm.
so he signed away. This was in 2006 when he purchased his house
for primary purchase.
Oh, primary purchase.
Mm.
67,500 was his purchase price. He was upside down, all the way up to like 89,000. So he was way surpassed that. That's luckily I got into real estate and was able to help him out. Got his house off, and been able to help him with that. But yeah, I mean, it's just
it's beauty once you have an understanding of real estate. You can,
Yeah.
it's always beautiful. I think a lot of us have that. Maybe had that stories of agents who got into business were able to come back and help a family member.
Most definitely.
I did the same thing, help my mom out. I realized they had a reverse mortgage for like 10 years. And when I saw a bill and how much interest they were paying to
You're
the
like,
company,
what the heck is this?
like that's all the
Yeah.
equity just gone. They're just taking it, every month.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So I was fortunate enough to catch it and was able to help out. So yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
to
I wasn't
learn.
able to catch it till I was 18. So you can imagine since 2006, they had that loan for, I would say, about 10
Yeah.
11 years.
Well, that's
Just
kind of
paying-
similar. Like I said, like
yeah,
my parents,
the
like 10
interest
years.
only, and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like,
That's crazy.
gosh, like
Yeah.
it just irks you, it's like you would think, predatory lending was, their guidelines, you should follow them, but
But,
still happens.
it's tough, right? Because, you got loan products to people. It makes, it, because you hear too many times, that people get bad loans or even get tricked into some type of solar deal or whatever, because they just don't have all the facts. Or what I think a lot of it is people don't know enough about a product to even know what questions to ask.
Due diligence.
That's what it is.
Basically all
It's
it is.
really, so when people are being presented these things, like whether it's a certain loan or a certain solar or whatever it is, they're, it sounds good. We try to think of what to ask, and if they answer it right, a lot of times people just go with it. And but I would strongly suggest people to, and I've done this myself. I've been guilty of getting a solar product and ended up it wasn't the best. But I would say consult several different people, especially people that really know about that, product or what it is, and that way you can know what questions to ask, right? Because again, you're not going to know what question to ask if your knowledge of that thing is limited, like most times. So, but yeah, it's unfortunate. It happens.
Yeah,
so we
definitely
learn
does.
the hard way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a huge part of why I'm doing what I'm doing now, man.
Mhm.
I was, unfortunately, like you two, I did not have the opportunity to save my family from that. They bought their house before 2008, the only house they've ever owned. Foreclosed on that house when I was, 16,
Mhm,
17.
mhm.
So that house was, gone because the mortgage payment doubled, then tripled, then quadruples. And then
Mm.
they came to their house to do a loan modification. I had no idea what the hell did I do now. I would have told them to kick rocks. I would have, I look back on it, man. I look back on so much
Yeah.
of what happened to, like my parents and my grandparents, all four of them co-signed on this, the only house they've ever bought in their
Sure.
entire life.
Sure.
And yeah, I was, unfortunately, I was never able to help, because we lost that house. And then we had to go to a rental. I was still in high school. We were trying to stay in Sanger Unified so we can stay in the same school. My parents made that happen. 3 months at that rental after we foreclosed on our home, we got another notice that we had 3 days to move out. And it was, I don't know if you guys have ever seen The Big Short, the movie The Big Short.
Of course.
I love that
Many
movie, man.
times,
I love that
yes.
movie. That movie hits me.
Yes,
Can you really be a realtor and not
that-
know
Yeah,
that?
that's a good
Yeah,
one.
I know.
You gotta watch Big Short.
That
Big
movie,
Great
that movie hits me hard, man, because there's a part in there where they go up and they're asking what the heck's going on. Like, can we speak to your landlord? And the family's like, that's not my landlord. That's my landlord's dog's name. Like, and they're like, wait, your landlord bought this home in his dog's name? Because that's the kind of lending that was going on back then.
Right.
And the family was paying their rent. The landlord was not making the mortgage payment. So now the rental home was going to be repossessed by the bank, and that family had 3 days to get out. That happened to us. And man, that's why you hear me kind of talk.
Yeah.
Oh, we were talking about 2-1 buy downs. Now say,
Yeah.
okay, let's step back and look at what's really going on.
Sure.
You're not getting a 5%. You're
Right.
not. Okay. I want you to know that you're not getting a 5% on a 2-1 buy down. I just want you to know the math. I'm not saying it's bad. I just want you to know the math.
Right.
Same thing with Cal Haffa. This is a short-term loan,
Mm-hmm.
and you're paying 33%. So I always disclose it
Be very
because
clear.
my parents got done dirty, man.
Yeah.
And it affected them to all the way up to when I bought my fourplex. They were like, Mijo, don't do this.
Yeah.
Mijo, don't waste your money.
Yeah.
Mijo, don't. And then I left mid-pandemic full time for real estate. Mijo, don't do this.
Sure.
Mijo, they're still traumatized to this day. Dude.
Yeah.
I hate it, man. It's deep in me. I'm like, dude, people were taken advantage of
Yeah.
in the masses.
Mhm.
And it sucks, man.
And
It
what's the
sucks.
main reason for fear, though? Lack of information.
Education.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's all it is. So, you
Language
know,
barriers too.
that's it. So if you only know a
Language
little
barriers,
bit about
yeah.
something, and that's something you get into doesn't go well, doesn't go your way, you're going to automatically say,
That's it.
don't
That thing
ever,
is
and you're going to
pinned
warn
as
everybody.
never.
And unfortunately, that's what happens in many households across just in
Yeah.
general. Like, that's why a lot of people, kids are wanting to do certain, I want to be an entrepreneur, but then you got your
And the
parents, you
parents
got
have
the
that stigma.
older siblings, older
I
uncles,
just did that.
right,
conference.
telling them, no, don't do this, putting all this negative in their ear because they probably had a bad situation because their lack of information and knowledge on it. But that's why I say, you can do anything you want in your life, just get as much all the information, the right information, and learn it before and then start applying it. But
absolutely.
without a bunch of good information and education on something, you're leaving yourself open to be taken advantage of, or to not,
or closed to miss opportunity.
Yeah.
or closed-minded
Yeah.
to not want to even do that because you
Take any risks.
exactly, because you might have heard of somebody having one bad experience, this and that. And again, we control our lives, right? Everybody feels like someone else can, we should listen to them. No, listen to yourself, figure out what's best for you or what you think you want to do and learn, and just go all in on that. Learn it, study it before you make some big moves, and then you have that knowledge to make the right decision.
And use every resource you have available to you to learn as much as you can.
YouTube University, like
yes,
TikTok,
I did. It's
yes.
amazing.
Podcast,
Don't
TikTok,
know.
right?
People do
TikTok.
not know
But
TikTok.
I mean, again, people, you got to be careful who you're watching and
Yes.
listening to, because there are people on there that are saying
that's across the board.
or
That's YouTube
miseducation.
too.
Yeah,
that's
same with
YouTube too.
YouTube. Right, 100%.
Yeah.
So
Just cross-verify everything.
just make sure the people you're following and listening to are verified, they're certified, there are professions in their industry, and they've done everything you want to do.
Yeah.
It's funny that you mentioned the whole stigma of the fear in families. Mark and I were doing this outreach in Clovis North.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
For the kids out there. It was a Latino education success,
Like career and college
it's
fair.
Like a career
Yeah.
college thing. And one little gal actually came up to us, really wanted to be a realtor.
She was gung ho, man.
She was gung ho. And the thing she told us, my parents
Said no.
don't want me to do it. What do you suggest when your parents are going against what you want to do?
Right.
I
would say,
and meanwhile, our booth was surrounded. We had Fresno State over here. We had the Oregon University right across. We had Fresno City. There was a Bay Area college, and we're like trying to talk like quietly.
Like, you guys are getting all the attention.
Like, you don't need it.
Well, that just shows you there's I mean, college isn't for everybody. I mean, my parents probably freak out from us saying that. A lot of older people or closed-minded people will freak out hearing that, but it's so real. It's even more real than ever in today.
Yeah.
There's so many opportunities. However, figure it out what you want to do, because everything doesn't require going to college, but everything does require education.
Education,
and
absolutely.
Right.
And mentorship. That's how Felipe got started.
100%. So again,
right.
But that's but you were saying as far as the event you guys went to. So so what came out of it? So she wanted to be a realtor, and then what happened? And then
and basically
she was just like, her parents.
Yeah, her parents didn't want it, so she asked us for advice. Me, very bluntly, I was like, do you want to be a realtor? And she's like, yeah, I really want to be a realtor. Then do it.
That's it.
That really is the key. I was exactly like Mark just said. My dad, literally, when I left my 6-figure superintendent job, he's like, what the heck are you doing? Like, are you serious? Like, you're going to go and sell houses for a living? But then again, he told me the same thing when I purchased my first condo. He's like, you bought an apartment. You spent your whole, because I had a whole $6,000 to my name. You spent your whole $6,000, as a down payment. Like, what is wrong with you?
Right.
But 3 years down the line, I made $75,000
right
as in profit. So it's like, okay, did I really make a smart investment?
100%.
Of course.
And honestly, like, to anyone listening, like kids out there and hearing that from their parents, do what you feel you really want to do with what's in your heart, because truth be told, it's going to be a day when you're on your own and it's all on you anyway. You're better off doing what you love, what you're interested in, because if it is real estate or whatever it is, you're going to do so well and be successful if that's what you really want to do, because you're going to focus on it every day. You're going to learn every day because it's something you really like. It's going to bring you joy and happiness, and you will succeed as long as you stick with it. Understand that everybody's path is different regardless of what the outsider is looking in, because they don't know who you really are. They really don't know what type of what kind of dreams and things you have inside yourself. You only know that. Now it's just for you to find that information. You don't even got to tell everybody that.
No.
Like, she didn't, I mean, you could have mentioned to your parents, but who's to say that you got to let them know exactly, like, I'm about to go be a realist? No, it's way better just to start learning it and start doing it.
Just immerse yourself.
And usually what happens is, once parents, family members, outside entities see that you're actually serious and really doing this all day, every day, they're going to eventually start supporting you, because they're going to be like, wow, well, we weren't really for it, but man, that's all they're doing. We see how they really love it. They're really good at it. They learn it. Then you'll see the support. So at the end of the day, do it, be great at it, and show and prove, and then people will support you from there.
And again, I do want to, kind of just reiterate it. I'm not at all saying do not go to college if that's the route you want to take.
No.
It's exactly like Rich said. College isn't for everyone, but if that's what you really want to do, there's a career path you want to take. Definitely do it. If you want to be a real estate agent, there's multiple things you can do. There's courses online. You can actually go to Fresno State,
Right.
And get your degree there, and your license there. But definitely, like, if you really want to take that risk, you want to be whatever you want to be, just,
Actually,
go gung ho.
And one last thing I just want to say, I said this is very important. And whatever it is you want, because a lot of times we think, especially when we're younger in our teens, 18, 19, we feel like, oh yeah, we want to do this. I would say great. So I would say maybe the first thing, of course, look on YouTube, look at videos, see if it's still good. You still see if you love it. Then the very next thing, but maybe seek out someone in your local market that is doing what you'd like to do. Give them a call. Hey, I was thinking about getting into this business. I don't know a bunch about it. Do you mind if I could just come, meet with you one day and you can kind of fill me in or kind of see how it is, right? Because a lot of times we don't have enough experiences to even know if this is something we want to do or not until we get hands on it. Because sometimes we may think we want to do something until we start doing it. Then we're like, this is not really what I want to do. This is not for me. I thought it was something else, right? So at least now and you've tried it, and then you try something else. But I think we just don't get enough opportunities. It's not taught in schools, enough experiences, enough things to experiment with to see what it is we really love, what it is we are really good at, to make that move. So
because I feel like I was very, very blessed that I actually found Mo, because he was a great mentor, like I said. Because basically he straight up told me that was the way to learn. Boots to the ground.
Boots to the ground.
Come and shadow me.
Best way to do it.
And that's basically what we were telling the kids there too. Is, just look for a mentor. I recommended just Google Realtor, go on Facebook, Fresno Realtors. We are all pop up. There's a lot of individuals like myself, like Rich. Like there's so many real estate agents that would love to help you.
Just go look at the Instagram, Facebook,
or would love
to help, right? And just go find somebody online. Look at the Instagram, Facebook, online, just to see someone that you feel that you would connect better with. There's a million real agents out there. Yeah. Find somebody that you feel like, okay, this guy, I kind of like this guy. He kind of likes, he seems like a cool dude. And reach out to that person. And if they're too busy, go to the next one. Like just. It doesn't hurt.
And having a value proposition is going to make your opportunity or your chances of working with that person even better. So if you just if you've got something that you're working on, or you've got questions and a potential lead, or you got, that's only going to make that's going to make you're bringing value to that person,
right?
So they're going to in turn want to give value back to you,
right?
And then you take that not in the form of monetary gain, but experience, and then you're going to learn, I don't want to do this, or you're going to learn, holy shit, I want to dive head first,
right?
Like you're going to learn that stuff, but if of course, people are going to be willing to help. Agents, lenders, appraisers, whatever, whatever you're looking to do, people will be willing to help. They're going to be more willing to help if you're bringing value as well. So,
what value? So someone out there, like an 18, 19-year-old kid, like, hey, okay, well, what value do I have? Like, I don't know anything.
Yeah. That's not an answer for them to know. They don't know what they don't know.
Sure.
But the question to somebody they're reaching out to is like, hey, I know there's got to be tasks that I can do.
Sure.
Something that I can just get experience on that requires nothing from you and requires only my time.
Right.
I would love your time. 100%. I would love your time to learn more about this field of mortgage lending that you're in.
Yep.
When we spoke at this event, you said this, that, and the other. I know nothing about this, that, and the other.
Right.
And I'd like to learn that. And so if there's anything that I can help you, shadow you at open houses when you go to open house, that requires nothing from me.
Pass out flyers.
It requires nothing. Yeah. We got to walk the neighborhood and pass out flyers before the open house. I'm gonna hit more doors if you're walking the block next to me.
Yeah.
There's so many things that just require your time, which is what professionals don't always have the most of.
100%.
We're not looking for you to buy us lunch. We'll buy our own lunch.
We'll treat you to lunch.
Don't get me wrong. Lunch is nice, but sometimes we don't have time for lunch. So there's no lunch even in our schedule.
Sure.
So bring some.
Address this point real quick, Mark, because there's a lot of people listening and like, okay. But I think a lot of the hesitation is, even myself, before I was thinking, like, you always think, man, I'm not going to call that person. Or you'll see them online, like, oh, this person's too busy. They're not going to want to take time to talk to me. So that I could see that happening, the hesitation of even reaching out. Like, just thinking the person's don't have time or too busy to even deal with you. But which a lot of you will realize, a lot of people in their top professions would love to talk to have someone to work with, or love to help someone and show them the ropes and show. It's just a lot of times, a lot of successful people love giving back and just helping someone that really wants to learn. So don't let that discourage you at all. They'll make time.
Yeah.
I don't even know that I would call myself successful, but
You are successful.
Thank you. There's this one
Very
youngster,
successful.
one young dude, man. He's been nothing but helpful to me, and I can see that he's absorbing everything. He's probably about 2 weeks away from closing his first wholesale deal.
Nice.
Dude, I'm ecstatic for him, man. Like I
Wow.
can't wait until he gets that check, from his wholesale deal. And I mean, he was with me when I was driving for dollars. He was breaking down data for me years ago when I was doing wholesale, and now he's doing it on his own. And
Nice.
dude, I'm looking forward to just him closing, man.
See, that's the beautiful thing. Man.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's real, man. Like it's
Yeah.
real. Like most people want to help,
Yeah,
so
they do.
it just don't forget that, reach out,
Yeah.
reach out.
And a lot of them could use it, help a little help
Mhm.
here and there,
Like myself, I love education. I love to educate clients. I love to educate the youth. Whether it be in real estate or just in general, just kind of guidance, for them. That way they can understand that regardless if they change their major or what they want to do, they don't know what they want to do. Guess what? We know 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds just getting started in real estate.
Yes.
Or
I was an example, late 30s. I got in.
Like it happens.
It happens.
Just like they keep saying, don't be fearful. Reach out if you something that you really, really want to get into. Trust me, people will help you regardless of what the industry is. There's always great people out there
For sure.
and they're all willing to help.
And it doesn't even matter if somebody wants to get involved to the point where they're switching jobs or changing careers. Like there's absolutely nothing wrong. As a matter of fact, I encourage you to invest in real estate, even if you're set with your job. You decided you wanted to be an engineer and now you work for PG&E. You still may late 30s, early 30s, whatever, early 40s, reach out to some of these people that were willing to help you jump into the field to now, hey man, I'm looking to build a portfolio of rental properties so that I can quit earlier.
Yeah.
The same people that are willing to help you be a lender, be an agent, are going to be the same people that are going to be like, you know what, dude? I started at 1.2. Let me tell you how I started. And then you would start that same way. So even if you don't want to join the industry as a whole, right, and quit your job or drop out of college, even if you don't want to do that, at some point, hopefully you get to the point where you're making money and you're saving it and you're wanting to invest. Those same people are going to be the ones that are going to help set you on your way and building that generational wealth.
100%. That's so true. That's true.
So keep those connections, even if you don't become a lender, even if you don't become an agent, keep those connections because you're going to need them.
And it's just a matter of a quick little phone call or a message on Instagram, Facebook, and just to reach out and boom, you'll be surprised how much, people were willing to open up and give information and help. That's what this industry is about, helping. And we're all here to help. Really. That's why we got into real estate. We love to help as well. You can make decent money, but also to help. So we'll definitely help people that are wanting to learn the business as well. For sure. Heck yeah. Man, this so far is getting hot in here, man.
It's been informative, inspirational, motivational.
It is.
Get off your ass, type. This is nice, man. I mean,
yeah. So Felipe, man, what's your future goal, man? I mean, what's Felipe look like maybe 5 years from now?
What's Felipe look like?
What's your whole business and everything?
I'm actually trying to get my broker's license. I'm in the process of doing that. Still don't know which way I'm going to go with that. With my broker's license.
Nice.
But I definitely want to grow.
So you plan to open a brokerage or
hopefully, yeah, most definitely. I do want to start my own team. I do want to grow. Like I said, I love education. And I would love to I have been working on a couple things on the back end silently that I do want to implement eventually in the near future that'll hopefully help every single agent that joins my future brokerage or whichever I decide to take. That way we're able to help families not only here. I do want to branch out eventually. I was originally born in SoCal in Santa Ana. So I would love to head back down to Santa Ana.
How long have you been here local?
Oh, honestly, I've been here my whole life practically.
Got it.
I think my family moved here when I was like 2 years old.
Got it.
So I've been here my whole life. But still, Come on, we all see Selling Sunset. We know that all those things, but definitely do want to grow my own brokerage. And then, like you guys keep saying, generational wealth. That's basically my main goal. I want to just have at least a minimum of 20 plus doors. That's a definite goal. We have it written down. Guys, write down your goals. Definitely write down your goals. Makes it that much more attainable.
Sure. For sure.
But yeah, that's kind of where I see myself in about 5 years, hopefully having a successful brokerage myself that I can run. And in about 10 years, having multiple offices. So yeah, no, definitely got big
goals,
plans.
man,
Yeah,
and it's
most
all
definitely.
doable, man. It's all doable, man.
And then just continue investments. I do right now. I've been doing on average of like 2 to 3 flips a year.
Nice.
This year we're on track to hopefully do 7 to 8.
Okay.
So just continue boosting those.
It's a
numbers.
tough market too, right now.
Most definitely.
Super,
very
tough.
So many
and
investors.
competitive. Yeah, and limited inventory right now.
Very
so
limited.
It's just it's a doggy dog.
Yeah,
fight out
but
there.
those deals are out there. It's all who you know, and how you treat people, and just be ready. That's it. Just be ready. Which kind of brings me to, I do want to ask you guys a question. Where do you guys think the market's going to go the rest of the year? Like, how do you guys foresee the market going? Like, come summer, come third quarter of the year.
Good question. Good question. On the real estate market, summertime, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Great question. A lot of it's going to be, I think, predicated depending on where the rates are looking at, what interest rates are. That seems to be the one thing that generates the buyer how hot buyer activity is or not, right? So what we've seen so far, from my experience, it looks like 6.5 or lower, buyers are coming out and actively looking for houses. As we get closer to 7 and over 7, we see a crazy slow, right? Yeah. Stop. So honestly, I feel, this is just a prediction, I think the Fed has one more rate hike. I think May, they're going to do about a quarter point, put us around 5% Fed rate, guys. I'm not talking about mortgage rates, Fed terminal rate. Here I am going from more confusing people from Fed rate. Now, okay. So I do see a recession on the rise too this year. Might be already started already. So I see people more investors investing into treasuries and things like that. So I see the yield staying lower. So I think we're going to be floating as average mortgage rates between 6.5 to lows to 6. And I'm hearing people already getting. You just told me somebody was quoted in the 5.9 or 5.8, right? Right. So I think that's going to be the average mortgage rates this year is going to be somewhere within that 6.3. No, I think around maybe a little just above 6 is I think for average for the year. So I feel that once we're done with that last hike after May, and even now things are leveling off. Like rates are going to kind of stay. It's going to be that sweet spot with rates, and then I think that's going to keep buyer activity going. So that's going to be good. The issue is inventory. I feel that I think builders are going to, if they're building medium price or close to medium price homes, they're going to do very well. The affordable, because that's where the pain is, the affordable price point right now, right? So as we add more demand, buyer demand, because rates are lower, now it's a matter of trying to find that inventory, right? And hopefully it doesn't. I mean, it's already kind of it could be inflationary too, right? Because less low inventory, a lot of buyers out there. What happens? Prices are pressured up. So that's what I see. I see that it's going to definitely level off with rates. I think buyers are going to be strong coming in, especially with all these products they're adding. I think builders, if they're building the right product as far as that median, price point, that's going to be crazy. But yeah, I think we're going to be a decent year. We're not going to sell as many as we did last year for sure.
Definitely not 2020 again.
Yeah, definitely not 2020. So I think we may end the year maybe, I think 4.5 million as a nation. Nationwide. I think we did about 5 last year, 6 prior. So yeah, I think price wise is going to stay stable. Prices, median price, more or less around stable, because it's not going to be too much pressure up or I don't see anything right now that's going to say
Go down,
prices
no,
are going to go down.
definitely.
There's nothing right now because
I
that
don't see anything.
unless inventory some kind of crazy way just increases,
Yeah.
which I don't know where that's going to come from just yet. It has to be some type of traumatic event or something tragic, like, like a COVID or like a shutting down the world or something. I don't know.
Yeah. And even with builders, like you said, you're 100% right. The average builder home right now are not in the 300s.
Right.
They're starting in 400s.
Yeah.
And that's basically kind of starting. That's
Yeah.
your base product. That's your smallest home with the smallest lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully there will be some builders that are bring back those little bit more affordable 375s and under.
Right.
The average home
Mhm,
that everyone
mhm.
can afford.
Yeah.
And that'll definitely.
But
help
also
that
what
lot.
they're doing too, even in the fours, I think that'll be okay because I'm hearing a lot of builders are also
Yeah.
willing to pay they're buying down the rate.
Oh,
So that's their incentive, as opposed to dropping the price. They're like, hey, you know what, we're gonna take to 20K and just buy down your rate. Now you're sitting, at 5 and 9 and that $420,000 house is now affordable to that first time buyer. You know what I mean? In that
Most
scenario. So I think I see that happening a lot. Just trying to figure out where this other affordable inventory is going to come from. It's tough, The move up buyer is locked in, that's why the move up buyer, people don't know, is a person who has a house and now they're ready to get a bigger house, another area. But that house is usually going to be purchased by a first time buyer.
Yeah.
So that's where the issues is. Move up buyers usually have a sub 3 or 3% or really sub 4% mortgage rate, usually 3 something or lower. So there's no real incentive for them to move or sell.
Other than that little bit of equity that they have.
Well, yeah, they got the equity.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, I'm not selling. If anything, I'll rent this thing. I'm only 3% mortgage
Yeah.
rate, and it's we've been paying it for so years. Yeah, I'm gonna. So there's not a whole bunch of incentive unless there's a life situation where they have to. So just that's it. I think we just got to figure out where the inventory. But I see prices staying pretty much level, plus or minus here and there. I overspoke my turn. I feel like I was talking like 20 minutes. Mark, go ahead. What do you think?
They keep it short and sweet on this side, man.
I went way too long. Go ahead.
I think buyer demand is going to continue to rise. I think interest rates are going to continue to hit levels that are affordable for most people. I think home prices are going to continue to appreciate, but I think the market's going to get hotter and hotter as the year goes on. I think summer hits. It's going to be hotter, just like the weather here. Quarter 3, quarter 4. I think they're going to be reminiscent of 2021.
I can see that.
That's what I think.
And that was the only concern I was having. That's why it's kind of scary because it feels like, the Fed could go higher to fight off that inflation, right? Because housing was it's starting to come down. But look, if we're back down with rates, we got these programs coming out for buyers, that just more demand on top of more demand. Now, like you said, we're in the summer, 2, 3 or 4 houses that are even nice and affordable. You got 100 buyers wanting that house, right?
Oh yeah.
Now we're back into that inflationary time, so it's gonna be interesting, man.
Yeah, definitely gonna be an interesting year.
Yeah. So
just to put things into perspective, I'm just one loan officer who is a one-man team. Nobody, I don't have any, loan officer assistants or anything like that. I have 14 buyers right now, and if that's just one loan officer. They're only working with one.
And you say you're not successful? Come
on. 14 buyers,
14 home buyers, whether or not they find something they like or that is in their price range.
Like
pre-approved
and shopping.
14.
Nice.
That's one. So I'm just one loan officer. So there's plenty here in town. If they all got 15 plus, people are still buying. Still buying. Even though majority are saying no and to hold off. Why do I have, almost 15 that are shopping with just me? There's plenty more of loan officers. So
demand
I think that it's going to continue to get worse, and not worse in a bad way, worse in worse for home buyers. I think it's going to get tougher. I think it's going to get tougher throughout the year.
Yeah.
To lock up a home for a price that you want, with selling credit to buy down the rate to where you want. I think it's going to get tougher.
Mm-hmm.
I think one thing that I like to just tell my clients too, based on whatever the market is because they're always asking, and I'm sure you get it all the time. Oh, is it a good market to buy in? Is it the right time? But what I always try to recommend is just, is it the right time for you?
For you, right?
That's basically what it is.
Right.
Because it might not be, the right time for you to buy, but maybe Mark is, he's done everything the right way. He has his money saved up. and he's ready to buy.
Yeah.
You know, so just making sure.
That's the
you
great.
know,
I'm glad
that's
you brought
basically
that
what it
up.
is.
That I'm gonna talk to the camera.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
for sure. Anyone listening, that is
Come
spot
on.
on. Never listen to anyone else if it's a good time to buy, right? Just look at your own personal situation and what you guys want. If you can afford, sit down with the loan officer to go over the numbers, and if it makes sense and there's a need there, then it's a great time for you,
Oh, yeah.
right? Because you get some of these crash people, you get people that say, "Oh, it's never a good time to buy." I know people who have been saying it's not a good time to buy ever since I went full time in 2017. Like 2017, they're preaching, "Not a good time. Don't buy this year. It's not a good time." Next year, not a good time to buy. 2020 comes. Oh, definitely not a good time to buy. Pandemic. But man, everyone who bought in those years are up right now.
Oh, yeah.
For the most part. I'm not gonna say every market,
But the majority.
don't quote me, because
but the
we
majority.
do have, like, I
Yeah.
think San Francisco has some, they're down maybe 15%, but even I think, I don't know, I have to look back pre 1918, but they might be okay. But again, majority of markets, you're up. So again, it's just, if it's for you, it's a case by case situation. No one can really answer that question for you, because you know your situation and what you want to do.
Right.
But I would say this, I think it's safe to say that if you plan on living there, 8-10 years,
That's for you.
it's usually always going to work out in your favor at the end of the day, for the most part.
Yeah.
It's just time, like they say, time in the market is way better than timing the market.
Yep.
If that makes sense.
Real
You
estate
can't never,
is
it's hard to time the market, but time in the market, the longer you last,
Yep.
Markets go up and down. If you stay there long enough, it's going to recover and you're going to be up again. So
Yeah, that's just what I was about to say. Is just real estate is a long-term
mhm.
investment. That's basically what it is. Whether it's in the industry or just for your own personal.
Yeah,
it's a long-term thing.
sure. For
It's
the most part.
You're not going to get that instant gratification from real estate. Real estate, you're in it for the long haul, and that's when you actually see it.
Sure,
work in your favor.
And I think that's part of the issue. Like, you get some crash brother people out there talking about, oh, it's going to crash, 50%. And I think a lot of times these guys are more, they know a lot about stocks. So they're trying to
fear.
That part too, but if you do stocks and you're really into stocks, you know how that works, because stocks crash overnight, right? But you can't confuse the two. Real estate is completely different. It takes a long time for that to happen. It takes, sometimes years for the market to go down and recover. So I think that's part of it too. Some people think, oh man, if I buy a house right now,
what if it crashes?
And then even if it did crash right after you bought, who cares? Because unless you're trying to sell it, you still live there. Your payment doesn't change. Everybody who's renting payment going to eventually change. Yours is not going to change. If it's down or up, it doesn't matter. You're just enjoying your home, and just stay there long enough to where the market recovers and goes back up, and then, okay, now you can sell and make something or whatever you want to do at that time. But so just, some people get discouraged too early for no reason. It's just not the time yet. Yeah. Unless you plan on selling.
Agreed.
What you got?
Agreed, man. You guys are lacing it up. I think we've hit just about every one of those points on previous podcasts. So yeah, man. I mean, that's still the same and best strategy to this day. Try to block out all the noise, stay focused on what matters, which is what you can control under your roof. There's a lot of things that you're gonna be hit with on TV from your aunts and uncles and your mom and dad at Thanksgiving. You're gonna be hit from all directions on what you should and should not be doing.
You only know.
Focus on you and your family and what directly impacts it. And who gives a shit about everybody else, man? Just, I mean, if you know your finances, you know what you can afford, if it's the right time. I mean, and if you don't know, you reach out to a professional and help them help you figure it out.
I love that summary,
man. Yes, that's it.
Yeah. And show and prove. People don't believe in you, do it. Go all in.
Yeah.
Then they will start believing in you once they see that you're serious. So that's a lot of it. A lot of people don't feel a person is serious. They'll say, oh, I'm going to start this new business. You're not going to do that. You can't. You're stupid. You're done. You ain't going to do. You're about to go broke. Okay, then that's when you just be quiet and go to work. Because the more you talk about it, it's just talk. It means nothing. Anybody can debate that, but now no one can debate you being quiet and being successful and producing. Show and prove, right? So yeah. You got anything, last words you want to tell people how to find you, look you up, social network, how to reach you if they want to?
So I'm on Instagram. I'm under Fit Realtor.
Fit real.
Oh,
Oh,
yes, sir. We try to stay fit.
Mm.
You know?
What you benching now? About
Oh,
500?
I wish.
Mm.
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram. Definitely give me a follow there. I'm on Facebook as well. I'm on TikTok. Yeah, no, we try to hit up every social media platform, try to outreach to educate, every single time, like I said. So definitely
Under what?
look
How do
me
they
up.
find you? Under what?
Under Fit Realtor.
Fit Realtor.
Fit
Everything.
Realtor Official. Yep.
Fit
Yes,
Realtor
sir.
official. There you go.
And a phone number, just in case anyone wants.
559-270-7020. If you guys are in
Hit
need
'em
of
up.
anything, just have a quick question regarding your property. If you guys have distressed properties, definitely let me know.
Call us. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, Rich or myself. We'll definitely get you guys taken care of and get you guys going.
There you go, man. Thanks, man. You don't mind. Felipe's the man. Any you're leave us with a quote? We got one today?
Yeah, I got one
There
today,
we
and it
go.
fits perfect with everything we've been talking about, which is ironic. Most of them do, but here it is. Here it is. You don't have to see the whole staircase to take the first step. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So we
love it.
talked about Cal Haffa. If this is the beginning of your equity building, getting out of renting, you don't have to know what 5, 6, 7 years in the future looks like. This could be your way to begin building generational wealth. We talked about that, the youth convention we went to.
Yeah.
You don't have to know where your life's going to be in 5, 10 years, but you need to do something, take action to better your life. So you don't have to see the top of the staircase. You don't need to see 10 steps away to make the first step. So
Love it. That's awesome. I love that one.
get up and
Sweet.
get after it.
There
Get
you
up
go.
and get after it.
Perfectly.
All right, my man. Heat speakers, man. Once again.
Easy money.
Another
That's
show,
right.
guys. Check it out. Also, stay tuned. We got Heat Speakers. We're doing a special event coming up. We're going to
do.
announce it maybe in about a week or we can have. We'll make a quick announcement, but be on the lookout. We got a great
That's
event
right.
coming, guys.
That's right. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Till
Thank you,
next time.
guys.
Let's go.
All right. God damn, it's 5:50.